cold as a razor blade.
For another episode of The Snake Pit, and this week we are in for a really fun episode. We are peering into the darkness of the Jake the Snake Soul with some throwback episodes of Ask Jake Anything. For a lot of you, this might be new content. Some of you guys wound up tuning in later in the podcast. For some of you, might be some stuff that you've heard, but man, it's always cool to get a refresh, especially on these episodes. You never know what direction we're going to go in on Ask Jake Anything. You guys ask some amazing, interesting questions, and Jake never prepares for it. So, like, he doesn't look at the notes ahead of time. So he's answering in real time. The answer you get is the answer I get off camera as well for some of these questions. So that's what I love about doing this. It does really kind of feel like a peek behind the curtain when it comes to Jake and this podcast. So Jake is going to be back for a new episode next week. So we can't wait to get that to you guys. But in the meantime, I hope you sit back, relax, and enjoy this compilation episode from the archives right here on The Snake Pit. We've got Kelly O'Flynn Craig, who asks, have any of your kids ever expressed any interest in wrestling? How supportive would you be?
I would be supportive, but I would take the hard line approach to it. Explain what you have to sacrifice, because I don't think anybody realizes how much you have to sacrifice once you get into this business. It's not something that you can do, 3 hours a day and then put it in the closet and forget about it for the day. It doesn't work like that. You got to be on top of it 24/7, 7 days a week, man. It's got to be nothing but wrestling.
Now, we always hear about getting ring ready. Now, look, I have never taken a bump in my whole entire life, but they say that stepping in the ring is unlike any other kind of cardio you'll ever do, right?
Oh, absolutely, man, because the bumps, taking a bump and getting back to your feet real quick. That first bump is a real experience, kind of a wake-up call.
Yeah. Now, what about ring rust, Jake? How long does it take for ring rust to accumulate on somebody?
I'd say 4 or 5 days.
That's it?
That's it, man.
Wow.
You're gonna lose something every day.
So if you're not stepping into the ring every single day, you're getting rusty.
You're getting behind.
Man, so I want our listeners to think about that for a second, because nowadays it's kind of become the norm for people, even people on TV, to work maybe 1 day a week, maybe 2, right?
Absolutely, man. And I think they'll all tell you they wish they could wrestle more.
Yep.
Because it makes you sharper.
Man, it is not like back in the day when you guys were traveling town to town and working literally every single night, huh?
No way, man. Didn't even have to think about it. You were ready.
Dude, some crazy perspective. Last thing I want to ask you, that, this question kind of brought up another question that I've had and been wanting to ask you about, is we talked about taking bumps and ring rust. Jake, the first time you stepped in between the ropes and you started hitting the ropes, what does that do to your body?
Oh my God, hitting the ropes, brother. It tears your lats all to hell. Ugh. The first time I did it, I was black, blue, green, purple. Green is a strange color to see on your body.
Good Lord. And you were working back in the day when I don't think cleanliness was the big priority. So there was probably some blood stained canvas and nasty, tattered up, beat up ropes.
Snot.
Oh God.
Everything you can think of, spit, boogies.
We can stop with the bodily functions there. I don't know where this is going to go next. All right, we've got Richard B. Mashman, who asks, how did you and Cheryl get back together?
It was a long process, man. We've been apart for 24 years and had not been talking to each other for probably 4 or 5 years. And it just started off slow, man. We just started talking again, And the more that she found out how I felt about my sobriety, the way I thought, because one thing's for sure, man, your mental game is dirt when you're a drunk.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it has too many holes in it. There's no clear thinking, and I think once we started getting back together just over the phone, it took weeks before we were decided we wanted to go out for an evening.
Wow.
You know, and those first few trips out were really odd, man. They were really odd.
Man, everybody says online, I see all the positive comments all the time, like just how cool it is and what a unique love story you guys have, where you're able to get back together after so many years apart. And Jake, you talked about how the difference in mental clarity after you're sober.
Yeah,
Like how would you describe that? Is it like coming out of a sleep, or like when did you start feeling like, hey, I'm hitting on all cylinders now?
it's coming out of a dark patch, man. It's really a horrible place to be. And once I started coming out of it, I mean, when I moved in with Dallas, after about 6 months, he told me he was starting to see a totally different Jake
Mm.
ever experienced. You know, it made our friendship stronger because I was a different guy. I wasn't the Jake I was whenever I was using. So even Dallas noticed it. I mean, a big difference in the way I talked, the way I thought, the way I treated people, the way I treated myself. You know, those things were all different.
Man, it's I think I can speak on behalf of everybody when I say how awesome it is to see you as you are now. And yeah, again, back together with Cheryl, it's so incredible. And it's a good transition, by the way, to our next question from Rick Guzman, who asks, you always speak very highly of Cheryl. Could you please tell us how you met in the first place?
Oh my God. The first time we met
Mm-hmm.
was in a nightclub, and she was in there, and I spotted her, man. She was just a fox, and I went up and introduced myself, and she said, "Oh, I know who you are. You're that wrestler." I said, "Yeah." She goes, "I can't stand you." Wow. I'm in love. So I chased her the rest of the night and finally got a phone number from her. And that was the beginning.
How about that? Yeah, Jake, would at that point, I mean, obviously you were well known because Cheryl saw you and recognized you. So like you were starting to become famous. Like w- it's got to be difficult to meet a woman as a famous person because you don't exactly know who you can trust, right?
You don't know who you can trust. You don't know what they're there for. And you really got to watch yourself, man, because you can get yourself in some deep shit.
Yep, we always hear the horror stories. We don't have to go into them, but certainly there's a lot of them out there about people taking advantage of celebrities,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's got to scare you off. So kind of had to be pretty refreshing to have somebody say like, "Ah, I'm not interested. I don't even like you," and then you
But
chase them down.
absolutely, man. I realized it was going to be a challenge.
Next up, we've got JM Primetime, who asks, a lot of people give Brutus Beefcake crap for having so many gimmicks and saying he was always up Hogan's ass, etc. But there was no denying he was super over in the mid to late 80s. He seems like a fun, easygoing guy. Does Jake have any good Beefcake stories?
Oh, Beefcake's what Beefcake is, man. He had a lot of different gimmicks, but sometimes you need to change.
Mm-hmm.
And thank God he was able to do that. So Hogan got him the job. Big deal. He had to keep the job. He had to go out there and perform every night, and he damn sure did it.
And he was over. Like he had action figures and the barber thing. People wanted to see him cut hair, and he had the big, garden shears and shit. Like, it fits in that time and place. Now, I think a lot of people looking back in hindsight, they're like, "Oh, what a goofy gimmick!" And he's dressed like a male stripper, and he's got like, it's silly. But I mean, hey, look, the guy made a full-time living in pro wrestling for decades. Like
Damn,
he did something right.
still making money.
Yep, absolutely. Now, did you get a lot of opportunities to hang out with Beefcake or not so much?
We did it. We met several years ago. The WWF wasn't the first place we'd met. He came through Mid South years before.
Oh, okay.
So we hung out a little bit, partied a little bit.
Still buddies with him to this day?
Oh, yeah.
That's cool, man. Rayback is up next. When you joined WCW, was there talk of you wrestling Ron Simmons or Vader for the title?
Yeah, there was talk about me wrestling Simmons. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Whatever became of it?
I left.
Yeah, I guess that'll put an end to it. Well, yeah, I mean, gosh, it's you came in and were so red hot as a heel that putting you with a new upstart kind of babyface champion, it's just a layup, easy way to get a guy over.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I could have helped Ron, I think.
Have you ever wrestled Ron?
Yes.
What did you think? Like big rough guy straight out of football. What did you think of working with him?
It was a good time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I used to drive him nuts, man.
How?
We'd go someplace in Florida and I'd be doing the tomahawk chop, And that's a heat getter there, brother. Because not all of Florida likes the tomahawk. I remember specifically doing it to him in Jacksonville, which is a big, big University of Florida town. And I started doing the tomahawk chop, and he's like, "Man, cut that shit out, man! He getting pissed off."
that's that's the whole idea, kid. You gotta piss him off. That's good shit. Now, getting into the ring with a guy like that, big raw bone, strong dude, like it's pretty rough, or you sort of like it snug, right?
I like it snug. It wasn't over the top or anything. It was solid. It was good. I had no problem at all working with Ron. I loved it.
Man, could have been cool in '92. Next up, we've got Sam P, who asks, I've heard a lot of guys talk about how crazy it was going out drinking with Andre. Did you ever go partying with him, and what was it like?
No, I never went out partying with Andre.
What held you off from that?
I was wise.
Yeah, DiBiase tells a story about him going to a restaurant with Andre, and Andre said, "Do you have a big trash can back there?" And the waitress is like, "Yeah." He's like, "Empty it and fill it with beer." And I guess he drank almost all of it.
Yeah.
Man, wild. When is the first time that you met Andre? Was it before the WWF?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I met him oh my gosh, probably 1976, 74.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was before you were an active wrestler.
Yeah. Just as I was refereeing at the time.
Okay. And good first experience with him, or what was that
Yeah,
like?
they gave me the job of driving him around.
No shit.
And they gave me a van to drive that had a big beanbag chair in the back of it. And that's where Andre sit. So after the show, I said, "Yo, do you need anything? Beer." Okay. So I went to a convenience store and I said, "What do you want?" And he goes, "2 cases."
Man.
I said, "Wait a minute, Andre. It's only 90 miles to the hotel. 2 cases." Okay. So I got him 2 cases and I got me a 6-pack. And I started driving. Well, hell, after a couple of beers, I had to piss, man.
Mm-hmm.
I pulled over and pissed. Wound up pissing one more time before we got to the hotel. But what really pissed me off was I had to clean out the van, and every damn beer was done.
Wow.
He drank 48 beers in miles.
Holy shit.
But that's not what really pissed me off. What pissed me off was he never got out to piss.
Not once.
Not once, man. Drank all that fucking beer and didn't have to pee.
What the fuck?
The fuck's his bladder must be the size of a fucking small Volkswagen.
Holy shit. And he didn't piss himself on the beanbag chair or anything?
Oh man, I checked. I checked.
That is insane.
Yeah, it was, man.
Wow. Did you have to drive him on numerous occasions or just one and done?
Just one and done.
Probably enough after cleaning up that mess.
Oh yeah.
Next up, we've got Bruce, who asks, Jake, what can you tell us about your appearances in TNA and Dixie Carter? So, Jake, you appeared at Bound for Glory 2006 as a special guest referee at a Monsters Ball match. And then you're also a guest at Jay Lethal's wedding in 2008 at Slammiversary. Any memories?
No, not really.
No?
Just wanted me for a one-off thing. That was it.
Okay, so you get the call, you come in, you collect your check, and you're out the door.
Yeah, I never met her.
Oh, okay. Never even met Dixie Carter while you were there. Wow. Okay. Well, now you know, folks. I've seen a lot of people online say, "Hey, when are you going to do a TNA episode?" And I'm like, he was only there like twice. I don't know that we have that much to talk about.
Not much to talk about, bro.
So it's you show up, you get your money, you're out.
Yep.
Joey Fish is up next. Have you ever considered tattooing your unmentionable to look like a snake?
Actually, I do have a tattoo down there, and it's Cheryl's name.
Okay.
Yeah, in big letters.
Well, it has to be.
Yeah, just to fit.
All right. So that would have taken a lot of ink to make it look like a snake then.
No, because her middle name is Saskatchewan, so.
What does it turn into when it grows? Just like a portrait.
Saskatchewan, when it's soft, it's swan.
Well, these are the answers that we really need here on the show. So, Joey, thank you for bringing that one up. Instagram, a wrestling historian asks, how did your ECW debut come about? Thanks in advance.
I was out fishing, and I kept getting paged. It was back in the day when you had a pager. You didn't have a phone. And I kept getting paged. I'm like, who the fuck is this? So finally, after I got through fishing, it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I went up to the house and I called, and it was Paulie. He goes, get on a plane and come to the blah, 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 and you'll be working with blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, fuck yeah, man. I said, where's the plane going to be at? Where's the nearest airport? I said, well, Dallas is 70 miles away. He goes, isn't there a small airport somewhere near you? I said, well, yeah, man, but it's like for small fucking planes. Yeah, that's what I got, a small fucking plane.
Wow.
And they flew me somewhere in Florida. And I got there about 45 minutes before the show started. And I done my bit and I was gone.
That is not cheap to charter a plane specifically for one flight for one dude.
Yeah, you goddamn right. That's why I said, Paulie, I said, if you hand me what you told me you were going to pay me, that's not going to be enough. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, the fucking plane costs that much.
Needless to say, I'm sure you got a pretty good payoff.
Yes, I did.
Cool. Now this is another one where a lot of fans are like, hey, when are you guys going to do an ECW episode? And I'm like, again, he appeared there twice. That's why I wanted to talk to Tommy Dreamer about it, because I'm like, okay, Tommy has like all the background, and I know that he was working in an office capacity too. So that's why you guys have got to check that story out if you want it. But we hear all the time that Paul Heyman can be, or could be, back in those days, he was running a little independent business, maybe a little shifty sometimes, maybe the money comes a little bit late. You experienced any issues?
No, I didn't. Everything was spot on.
Okay. Hey, there you go, folks. It's not all doom and gloom. Greg Anders has got a related question. Hi, Jake. Tommy Dreamer talked about meeting you for the first time at a Raw episode in early 1997. Do you remember it?
No, I don't.
So Tommy told the story on the podcast. He came backstage, and by the way, this is, he's a huge fan of yours at the time, but he's there as a professional. He's trying to not be a fucking mark. And so he's backstage and he sees you, and I can't remember who else he said. You guys were back there smoking, and you apparently called him over and said, hey kid, come here. And he came over. He's like, yes sir, what can I do? And you said, just turn around and block me. And so he blocked you while you were there smoking. And once you finished your cigarette, you were like, "Hey, thanks, man." He was like, "I would get in trouble if Vince saw me, but you're the new guy here. You don't even work here, so you're fine."
Yeah,
so so pretty hilarious moment. And it makes me wonder, Jake, what was it like hiding to smoke when you were around Vince in the WWF?
it was a pain in the ass, man. And after a while, I didn't even hide anymore. I just, because back then in '97, we were going to his house to do television. So when we took a break, I'd go outside and smoke. Me and
uh,
Pat.
you and Pat Patterson would.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So Vince very famously absolutely hates cigarettes. So I
Yeah.
mean, was there like a designated spot where he's like, you can smoke here, nowhere else, or how
No,
did that go?
no,
You ever hear the story of him paying off a dude on an airplane to stop smoking?
no.
That was apparently how the $1 Million Man character came about, because there's this guy. This was back in the day when you could smoke in first class. He was smoking in front of Vince, and Vince was sitting with Bruce, and Vince offered this guy $100 to put out his cigarette. The guy said no. 500. Guy said no. And I want to say he got up to like 1,000 or more dollars to get this guy to just put out his cigarette. And Bruce is like, "Boy, you can really buy anything." And then, the $1 Million Man came about. But man, it's if Vince would have said, "Hey, Jake, I'll give you $1,000 to not go smoke," would you have stopped?
Sure.
Seems like a reasonable trade-off.
Got it around the corner.
It's not like you're gonna quit smoking, just in
No.
his presence. Everett675 asks, "Who does Jake think is the best tag team of all time?" I think it was the Dudley Boys.
I disagree. I disagree. I think Rock and Roll Express might be up there.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, the rock and roll is certainly a name that comes up every time. Another one that I hear all the time, and it's two guys you got to know very well, are the Road Warriors.
Yeah. Road Warriors were okay, but they weren't the top tag team. FTR was probably the greatest tag team right now.
FTR.
Yeah.
What do you think sets them apart from the competition nowadays?
They wrestle their asses off, man. They get out there and they do the hard work.
I like their style because it's like I feel like you could slide those guys into like 1989 wrestling and they'd fit right in.
They sure would.
Good storytellers out there.
Yeah.
Yambag Jones, shit disturber of ad free shows, has got one. He says, if Jake Roberts could have main evented a WrestleMania for the WWF title, which scenario would you choose? A, Jake at his peak in the late 80s challenging Hulk, or B, veteran Jake in the mid 90s defending it against babyface Stone Cold?
That would have been excellent.
Right?
I think a better one would have been me against Macho Man.
Oh, could you imagine?
Yeah.
Now, I would have to assume you're talking about 91 Savage and you.
Yeah.
Yeah, 91 into 92. Oh man, would have been badass. Dozer is up next. I know Jake is a big sports fan. Who is his all-time favorite athlete, and who's his favorite athlete of today?
Oh gosh. Today would be oh gosh, quarterback for Kansas City,
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. It'd be a split between him and the defensive end for the Dallas Cowboys. What's his name? Remember
Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons? Yeah, I like him a lot too. Back in the day, Bob Lilly.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Bob Lilly was a beast, man. Bob Lilly and another cat. What was his name? Gosh, Randy White.
Yeah, the Manster.
Manster. He was something else.
It's hard to go wrong with those picks, man. And it's all of the people that you just selected there are Dallas Cowboys, except for the quarterback, which is
Yeah,
Patrick Mahomes.
yeah.
Are you in or out on Dak as a Cowboys fan?
I'm in with Dak. I'm in. I don't know why, because there's warning signs, but I don't know. I think he's he's got a good handle on it.
I like his intangibles, like his leadership qualities, stuff like that. And yeah, it's I don't know what to think because in a playoff game sometimes he'll throw two picks, but then like when you need it in the fourth quarter, he's clutch. So it's I don't you don't it's
Yeah,
hard to put a finger on that guy.
yeah, he does it well, man.
Here's one from Adam K that I don't think we covered on the WCCW episode. When Kerry Von Erich came to the WWF, were you aware that he had lost a foot in a motorcycle accident years prior? It's been said that Kerry was hiding it.
Yeah, he hit it all the time, man. He'd come to the building with that boot on,
Mm.
and but he went out there and performed, man, like it never happened.
Which is craziness to be able to perform well with a prosthetic foot.
He was in so much pain; it was unbelievable.
I think that's another kind of missing element that everybody's like, oh well, the Von Erich brothers, they were crazy and they were on drugs, and like, yep, you're right, they were.
Yeah,
But like in Kerry's instance, I think a lot of it was just pain management.
yeah, it was.
And now when he was coming in the door though, did you know that he had lost the foot or did you find out after he arrived?
I knew it coming in.
Oh, okay. Were you hopeful that you get to work with him again, or had you had your fair share while you were in Dallas?
My share.
I had a feeling that was the answer. Friend of the show, Peter D is up next. Hi, Jake. You have mentioned that Honky injured you with the guitar shot and that led to your greater dependence on painkillers. What's your relationship with Honky today? You must bump into each other occasionally.
It's shit.
Yeah, not great.
Not at all.
Well, Peter and anybody else listening, if you haven't heard, we did an episode about the guitar smash, and Jake actually was ready to take the high road. He was like, look, we've been talking some shit back and forth, but like, let's just put it behind us, man. So that offer's out there to Honky if he wants to come up and shake a hand.
Yeah, I'd like to put it behind us, man, and move on.
Yeah, man, that's a subject that's been beaten up to death, and like, this kind of online feuding stuff back and forth. It's like, man, life is too damn short.
Yeah, exactly.
RCS 88 is up next. Who would you like to see go into the 2024 WWE Hall of Fame if you got to pick? So I'm not going to ask you to name like 5 people, but maybe like 2 or 3.
I don't know, man. I can't keep up with who's in there and who isn't.
Okay. Well, let me say RCS 88 that Jake has said before on the show that he'd love to see Jim Cornette go in
Yeah,
and his tag team, the Midnights.
midnight. Yeah.
Certainly all deserving, so maybe one day. Freddie Kim is one that's kind of similar to the Brutus Beefcake question we got earlier. What's your most positive Hulk Hogan story? Now, Hulk, he was just trending online because of some comments he made a few years ago, and we all know what those comments are. Jake, let's get some positivity on the Hulkster. What's your best experience with him?
He did his job, man. He had a hard job to do. He did his job, man. He worked 24/7. He didn't just come to the building and wrestle a match and that was it. He had to do all this promotional shit, man, all the time, all the time. So I don't know if I could have done it. I'd like to think that I could have, but I'm not sure.
I think a lot of people hear, oh, like he's the most famous wrestler ever, and he's like, part of pop culture and all that stuff. It must be great, and it's like it's probably great until it's not. Like, when you can't go to the grocery store,
Right.
without getting mobbed, and there's so many expectations of like, hey, you've got to be at this autograph signing, then you got to make TV, oh, you have to cut this promo. Like, man, that is a lot of shit to deal with.
It is, man, and it gets tiring too.
Now, Arn Anderson recently on his podcast talked about how when he came to the WWF, Hulk had his own dressing room, and he was like, I can't really remember the first time that I met him. He was like, it sounded like he was borderline unattainable backstage for the other boys. Was that your case too?
Yes.
I mean, resentment as a result of that, or were you just like, hey, look, I'd do the same thing if it were me?
Sure. That's the way I felt.
Now, if it were up to you, would you have had your own private dressing room, or you like dressing with the boys?
I like dressing with boys.
I feel like it'd be boring in your own dressing room.
Well, I don't know, man. I had my own dressing room for a while with Cheryl,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
and it was all right, but you feel like you're on an island by yourself.
Yeah. It's to me, it's like there's a bunch of dudes out there like playing cards and having fun and getting ready to go out there and bullshitting, pulling ribs, and it's like, and you're just over somewhere by yourself. It sounds dull.
Twiddling your thumbs.
Yeah, yeah. No thanks. Mikey G has a great question. If you were offered big money to change your gimmick while you were in your prime, and you could choose the character for yourself, what would you have gone with? That is a weird one, but I'm interested to hear your answer.
Hmm. Wow.
So big money on the line. They're like, hey, we don't care what character you pick. You just need a strong character. What are you going with?
I don't know, man.
Back to mid-Atlantic cowboy Jake, right?
Oh God, no. No. I went with the Charles Manson type character.
Okay.
Call me Uncle Charlie.
All right. See, now that works.
Yeah, Uncle Charlie with his clan.
I love it. I think
Yeah,
it's a great idea.
I think that would work.
Early on in the podcast, you and I talked about Gangrel and the Brood, that vampire stable that they had, and ever since then, it's kind of stuck in my head. Like, I think I'd like to see Vampire Jake.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, man, you could definitely pull it off.
Oh, I think so.
Spitting blood everywhere and shit.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome. Justin Beaumont asks, besides your WWE Hall of Fame induction, what's the biggest honor you have ever received?
I think the biggest honor I ever received, other than that, was when Vince came to me and asked me to work with Andre.
Wow.
That was a huge, huge honor for me to even be considered for that spot. You know, I mean, my God, here's a guy that's been on top his whole life, and now they're asking me to go out there and make a match.
Awesome.
And I think we did for the most part.
You know, because I do the social media and stuff, I get to see a lot of, comments your way of like, hey, this was my favorite angle you did. And oh, I love this feud. And like most of the time it circles back to you and Andre.
Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty strong stuff.
How weird was it or surreal was it for you as a guy who you like as essentially a kid fresh out of high school, you were driving Andre the Giant around and now you're working at a fucking WrestleMania with the
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it, man. I couldn't believe it.
Man, just mind blowing, and at this point, of course, you've grown up in the business, you've been around wrestlers your whole life. You're not marking out for probably anybody, but I bet that that's about as close as you came.
Yeah. Yeah. I was definitely marked out over him.
Billy Whedon asks, what are the parties after WrestleMania like?
Well, in the beginning, they were pretty fucking wild. I mean, I remember one that the band was supposed to stop playing at midnight, and we kept the band there till 2 a.m. And it would have kept going, except Vince called Pat Patterson and told him to get down there and fucking get it done. Evidently, Vince's hotel room was too close to it. He's hearing all this shit.
Do you happen to remember what year that would have been for
Oh,
WrestleMania?
I don't remember, bro.
It's impressive that anybody would remember the night if you guys are up until 2 with, I'm sure, a lot of free alcohol.
Oh, that wasn't the only thing going around.
that's that's a strong point. Now, does Vince drink?
Yeah.
See, he was always like such a purist with like his body and keeping in shape. I was like, there's no way that guy drinks, right?
He drinks.
Wow. Okay. Have you ever seen drunk Vince?
Yes.
Okay, you've got to tell us what drunk Vince is like.
It was pretty wild, bro. We were in San Antonio at a strip club. and it got completely out of hand. They closed the strip club, but we kept it open. And finally, I left. And when I came back, I had to go take care of a little business.
Mm-hmm.
And when I came back, there was like 6 police cars there, all sorts of shit going on. And I got out and started to walk in the door, and I said, can I go in? They went, are you one of them? I'm like, yeah. He says, go ahead. I'm like, you're not here to shut it down. He goes, no, we're going to let y'all go ahead and do what you want to do, but just keep it friendly. So I started to go in, and about that time, Sergeant Slaughter came driving up, and they had a police car parked in front of the front door. And Slaughter took his Cadillac and nudged it and pushed it completely out of the way so he could have the front door. They didn't do anything.
Wow. All right. So that's a night out drinking with the chairman.
Yeah. In fact, that was the night that everybody started suplexing the girls on stage.
Did Vince get one of the girls with a suplex?
I don't remember.
Woo.
That's also the night that Kurt Hennig put a crossface on Vince and tore a big hunk out of his ear with his watch.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So the next day, TV was supposed to start at 1, and Vince got there at 4:30.
Was he selling it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He was definitely not on his A game.
Does Kurt get in trouble after a scenario like that?
Nope.
Wow. All right, got to give Vince that. If he wants to hang out with the boys, you're gonna deal with that shit. All right, let's do one more, and we'll call it a day here. Jamie Gray asks, besides the DDT, what do you think is the best finisher, and what is the best submission finisher?
Oh my God. The Rousey finish is a good one.
The what?
Ronda Rousey's finish.
Okay. Yep.
That's a damn good one. The best, I don't know, man, about the best out there today. There's so damn many.
Any back in the day when you were wrestling where you were just like, now that is a hell of a finish?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which one stuck out?
The Brain Buster.
Ah, yeah, that's a good one.
That was a good one. The way they used to do it.
How did they used to do it?
Carl Cox would bring you straight down.
Oh, God.
And it looked like it just destroyed you.
How do you protect a guy doing that?
He did. He did.
Man, that is insane.
Yeah.
Now, and so submission finisher, Ronda Rousey's gets your vote?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, guys, time to take a break to talk about our incredible sponsor, The Perfect Jean. Man, fall is here, and that means that we're transitioning from shorts weather into jeans weather. And if you're like me, you hate this time of year because that means you've got to put on uncomfortable jeans as opposed to feeling loose and happy in your shorts, feeling like you can accomplish anything. All of a sudden, you're very constricted in a pair of jeans, and you're just trying to get by with the weather, not feeling comfortable till you get home and change into your sweatpants. Well, those days are over thanks to The Perfect Jean. They are here to end your denim difficulties. The jeans that make getting dressed feel like one of those damn I look good and didn't even try kind of moments. They're made with super soft fabric blend that makes you say, holy shit, the second you slide them on, and still stylish enough to idiot-proof your fall wardrobe so you'll always look good and put together. No fashion sense needed. They got 4-way dynamic stretch so you can effortlessly leap over puddles and haul ass to catch your 7 a.m. train to work. Lightweight so you're not baking on the bleachers at your kid's ball game during the hottest time of the day. And with reinforced seams and YKK zippers, you'd never have to worry about getting caught with your fly down or embarrassing crotch blowouts. Guys, get this. Over 500,000 men agree that you should never settle for subpar jeans that force you to choose between comfort and style. Those days are done. With waist sizes 26 to 52, lengths 26 to 38, 6 different fits from skinny to thick, and 13 washes, the perfect jean makes it just ridiculously easy to find your perfect pair of jeans. That's why they're called the perfect jean. They have thought of absolutely every struggle that accompanies jeans. And look, if you're a tall guy, skinny guy, fit guy, there's always those jean brands that you like. They're like, the aesthetically pleasing, but you just can't find the right pair. Or if you do find the right pair, maybe they're not durable enough. Maybe they fit well, but they aren't the style that you like. Those days of compromising are completely over with the perfect jean. And I know what you're saying. This is too good to be true. There's no way that this can get any better. Well, it can. Don't let me forget to mention their perfect tees. Butterfly soft organic cotton cut to make your arms and chest look chiseled with just enough stretch to comfortably move with you. If you're out there playing flag football with your buddies, you decide to spontaneously go skydiving, or if you're just trying to go on a dinner date. They also have den khakis and polos for when you've got to class things up a little bit, and ultra breathable comfort shorts with serious thigh space. If you're one of those dudes who does a lot of squats, you got the thick thighs, they got you covered, pal. The bottom line is this: the perfect jean name doesn't just stop at jeans. Everything that they've sent to me, and they've sent me a bunch of really great stuff from shirts to polos, shorts, jeans, literally everything that I've tried on fits me perfectly. It makes me feel more confident. I get a ton of compliments from all my friends whenever I'm wearing this stuff out, and it perfectly balances looking sharp and feeling like I'm wearing loungewear, like I'm in my PJs, just hanging out in the house. Seriously, it's the best of both worlds. Just try them. They nailed the basics, and the price is right. The perfect jean always has free shipping, exchanges, and returns. And you can have peace of mind knowing that your order is completely risk-free. Seriously, try them out. If you don't like them, send them back. The time has come. You no longer have to dread fall and putting on jeans. They have got you so that you're not going to be crushing your balls anymore in uncomfortable jeans when you go to theperfectjean.nyc. Our listeners can get 15% off your first order plus free shipping, free returns, and free exchanges when you use our code SNAKE15. Again, there is no risk. Just give them a try. I think that you're going to love these guys. And if you don't, fine, send the stuff back. But I'm telling you, you're going to try this stuff on the first time and say, okay, I'm keeping this forever. And moving forward, I'm looking for a hoodie, some khakis, a polo, some jeans. I know where I'm turning. It's the perfect jean. Again, it's 15% off for new customers at theperfectjean.nyc with our promo code SNAKE15. After you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. Please do us a favor, support our show, and let them know that we sent you. Dude, fuck your khakis. Go and get the perfect jean. Well, look, I moved this one to the top of the queue because it's a timely one and something I'm really interested to hear your take on. Troy Gensel, I think is how you say it, asks, what did Jake think when he heard about Billy Jack Haynes?
When I heard about Billy Jack Haynes, what about
You,
Billy Jack Haynes?
you didn't hear the recent news about him.
No.
Allegedly, Jake, because I wasn't there and I certainly don't need to be getting pulled into a lawsuit, he murdered his wife recently in Portland, Oregon. He has an
Wow.
elderly wife and he killed her. And then was in a 2-hour standoff with police. Allegedly, Jake. I don't know. I wasn't there.
Allegedly, yeah.
Right. So,
Well,
what do you make of that news?
it really doesn't surprise me. Uh,
Really?
yeah, he was a little off. You know, he had some nuts loose. You know, he wasn't the sharpest knife in the drawer type guy. You know, and he just had a quirk about him that I never felt safe around him.
We brought him up when we were talking about WCCW because you were involved in a tag
Right.
match with him, and you had said, if I remember right, you said he was off. And I've spoken to Jim Duggan and Ted DiBiase since, and both of them said, yeah, he was weird. And Jim said specifically, like, you kind of look in that guy's eyes, and you can tell that there's something wrong with him.
Yeah. Yeah. There's something amiss. Yeah.
Well, there you have it, Jake. I broke the news to you. Pretty crazy. I mean, what a weird year it has been in wrestling already. It's only February, and there's been a lot of shit going on.
Between McMahon and yeah.
Next up, we've got Dean Warren, who asks, "Sounds like back in the day, a lot of fans would try to fight wrestlers when they saw them at the bar. Did it happen to you often, and how did you handle it?"
Yeah, it did happen. And you learn pretty quick. You just don't go into some bars. You know, your neighborhood bar is not a place you want to go into because the same guys go there every night. It's their bar, and they don't like you walking out of there with one of their women either. I
Oh
will
man.
say that. That's usually what happens. Is some woman will, oh my gosh, he's on television all the time. Oh my gosh, he's a star. Oh, he's oh, he. Next thing you know, the guy's, oh, he ain't shit. I'll show you. Yeah, now you got to thump somebody. So, uh, to be honest with you, man, it didn't happen to me that often. Uh, Simply because I went into the right places.
Okay.
Uh, when I say right places, what I'm talking about is going into a place that has a lot of security. Your
I
na-
see.
your neighborhood bar does not have any security. You know, TGY Fridays does not have security, but the landing strip does.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say it. I was like, I know a place that has a lot of security.
Yeah, and
Well, and
believe it or not, and my wife doesn't believe it. That was one of the bigger reasons that we picked those places is because we knew there was security. We could go in there and drink and not have a bunch of people fucking with us. Because if you got somebody messing with you in a titty bar, then you know you got a real problem.
I believe it. And like, it sounds silly, and I know a lot of fans are probably going to call bullshit too. But realistically, it's like, I mean, look, you guys are grown men. I'm sure you've seen many boobs in your day,
Yeah,
so it's like you've seen it all. I think that at this point, you're probably just looking for a quiet place to have a drink.
exactly. Place to drink and to have some decent music, and that's it.
And if you see some boobs along the way, then that's fantastic.
It happens.
Now, I also think that a lot of fans are going to hear this and go like, "Oh, well, these wrestlers are tough guys," and I'm sure a lot of wrestlers would say like, "Oh, no, I'd kick the shit out of anybody who fuck with me." But also realistically, it's like that's a good way to get sued, and then like
Exactly. See,
it's also
that's
a
the
good,
problem.
yeah.
You hit somebody, now you're going to have to come back to town to go to court.
Hmm.
So that means you got to pay for your airfare, for your hotel, and for your lawyer. You're 5,000 down before you ever start. So do you really want to slap this guy?
Fuck no.
Well, I had one. There was an instance one time where I slapped a guy, and the next thing I know, man, I'm sitting in fucking jail, and I may not get out. And wound up costing me close to $200,000
Holy shit for slapping a dude.
for slapping him. Sure as hell did. And the son of a bitch sent me a thank you note.
Oh my god. Wait a
Thanks
minute.
for the cash, dude.
This was the dude that he was like a buddy of yours almost, right? And you were riding with
No,
him. This
he
was a
was
different
riding
thing.
with me. Yeah, I gave him a ride.
Okay.
Yeah, in Florida.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
And I remember that I think it was like Tully Blanchard was one of like your
yeah,
character witnesses or something.
yeah.
And yeah, it was, man, what a complete fucking mess. And here's the other part of it that I think is kind of an underrated way to look at it is that, like, let's say that you win the fight, you could hurt your hands punching a dude.
You can
Like,
get hurt. You can get stabbed
yep.
real easy. And it's just no. It's a no-win situation. It's a no-win situation.
Yeah, that tough guy bullshit is for the birds, man. It's way
Yeah.
easier to just be like, "Hey, whatever, bro. I'll leave you alone," and just
You
leave the
know,
bar.
I used to warn the nasty boys, you know. Some of the shit you guys are doing, man, you're asking for somebody to cut you.
Yep.
You know, and they rah, 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 rah. What happened? He got cut.
Well, based on what I've heard, Brian Knobs is a guy that probably
Yeah, he was the one that
instigated an
got
awful
cut.
lot. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay. I knew it was him as soon as you said it. I was like, he
yeah.
seems like an instigator. All right, we can move on. Peter D asks, "Hi Jake, ever hear of wrestlers stealing other wrestlers' possessions from the locker room, not as a rib, just straight up stealing?"
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It happens, man.
Now, do you want to name any names?
No,
Anybody you
man.
suspected?
No, I'm not
This
going to go
is
there.
taking the high road. I get it.
Yeah.
Easier to not do that and then not have to fucking deal with any bullshit later. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, after a while, I know that a lot of guys started padlocking their stuff, right?
Well, that or you give your stuff to somebody to hold,
Okay, somebody you trust.
you know, or lock it in your car.
Way easier.
Yeah. Put it in
Dude,
the trunk and lock it.
it speaks volumes whenever you've got to keep shit in your car because you can't
Yeah,
trust the
man.
boys with your stuff.
No shit.
Now, what's the worst that somebody has got like messed with your things while you were away at the ring? Do you
Oh, they
remember?
stole a necklace of mine, a gold necklace.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it's about 3 grand.
Was this WWF days or before?
Yeah.
3 grand down the tubes.
Yep.
Brutal. Barry asks, did Jake, this is a pretty timely one given the circumstances recently, did Jake get much time around Rita Chatterton? Looking back on the whole thing really makes me wonder now.
Reader Chatterton. Is that the
That
referee?
Yep, female referee. She
Yeah.
alleges that she was raped in Vince McMahon's limousine by Vince.
Oh, really?
Yes. So that was like
Wow.
she apparently said that this happened in July 1986. So you were with the company,
Yeah.
and then I think that she sued him, and they ended up settling semi recently, like within like the last 5 years, something like that.
I'll be damned.
Yeah. But do you remember her?
Oh, yeah, I remember. She was great. She did a good job out there.
Man, the first female referee, which was not acknowledged for years, they ended
Yeah.
up saying that somebody else was the first female referee because she sued the company. But still, it's like, that's a pretty historic thing, pretty unheard of back in
Sure.
'86.
Yeah, I was, man. No, she did a good job out there, man.
Brett Travers is up next. What does Jake order when he gets Chinese food? How about Mexican? So Jake, Chinese first.
Come as some young guy.
Never heard of it. I'm gonna call my Chinese restaurant and ask
Yeah,
them.
yeah. It's a good soup. Something that'll stick to your ribs.
Oh god. So I think I just lost my appetite for Chinese.
I know Mugu Gai Pan's all right. You
Okay.
know, chicken chow mein's all right. Yeah.
Now, how about Mexican food?
Oh, fajitas, brother, all the way.
Gotta be. I'm with
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Got to be a fajitas, man.
Now, were there any cities in particular that you felt were like, oh, I can't wait to get to that city and get that food from them?
I'm sure there was, but I can't think about it right. I can't think of one right now off the top of my head. Yeah, there is one. Chinese food. And oh, what town is that in? Shit. I was just there. I did my comedy there, in fact.
Oh, was it in Ohio?
No, I want to say around Baltimore or Philly.
Hmm.
But really good Chinese food, man. They love the boys there. And of course, for seafood, you go to that place that used to advertise on our show podcast.
Ah, Jimmy's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if that promo code is still alive, go into our old archives and use it to get some Jimmy's. Even if not, go get some Jimmy's because they're amazing.
Great, man. Can't go
Jake,
wrong there.
no, no. Now look, as a Pittsburgh guy, I've also got to ask you, have you ever had Permane Brothers sandwich?
No,
Never.
no.
All right, next time you're in Pittsburgh, we're gonna get one.
All right.
Wesley asks, "What's the most hardcore thing Jake ever did in a match? Did he ever go through a table?"
Not intentionally.
Wait a minute. Well, how did you accidentally go through a table?
Fell off the edge of the ring.
Oh shit! When was that?
Oh, that was like in '92.
How did the crowd react to the bump?
Oh, they flipped out, man. Not as much as I did.
Did it hurt?
Fuck no.
Now,
Scared me,
I'll bet.
because it just when you just go through it didn't hurt at all.
Do you remember who you were working with?
No, I don't. Sure don't.
Now you
What,
you
what is the
accident.
other
Oh,
thing I did? I used to do a thing that I stole from Sergeant Slaughter where you'd run into the corner and at the last minute you'd jump and you leap over the top rope and you grab the pole and you bring your hands down, you hit you like you're hitting your head.
oh,
Okay.
okay.
So I went and did it and somebody had fucking been in that corner and they had oil on or something. They'd oiled up the post.
Oh,
My hand slid, my fucking head hit that son of a bitch, man. In fact,
oh,
there's the scar right there. Right there.
holy shit, man!
Yeah, I woke up about an hour later. I had to take a few days off.
I'll bet. How many stitches?
9.
Good lord! Was this WWF too?
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh,
That
man.
happened in Fort Myers.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you never did that spot again.
Never again.
Yeah, fuck that.
I marked that off my list.
Now, you talking about going through the table and the audience reacting reminded me of the story of you accidentally discovering the DDT.
Yeah.
Like, so after you go through the table, it doesn't hurt. The crowd reacts. Were you ever like, maybe I should start doing that every once in a
Fuck no, because I had to pay for the table.
while? That fucking Vince made you pay for it?
No, Bill Watts would have.
Oh, Bill Watts definitely would have. Yes, probably charge you double so you could get another table.
Yeah.
All right. Justin X Vepa is up next. If Jake could ask any wrestler from any era any question, who would he pick and what would he ask? That's a hell of a question.
Wow. Hmm. Gosh, there's so many questions you could ask people. I don't know, man.
That's a big one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge. That leaves a lot of. But you could ask this. You could ask that. I'd ask Hulk. What I'd ask him is if you had to do it all over again, would you do it the same way?
Now that's a hell of a question.
There's a lot to that question.
Especially because you're the guy asking it. Because to
Yeah,
Hulk, he could interpret that as like, does he mean our rivalry? Because I'd be willing to bet that if Hulk could go back to 1986, I would be
yeah,
willing to bet that he would say, you know what, should have just worked with Jake.
yeah. He said that.
Did he?
Yeah, he has said that.
But it also like you just look over the scope of his career and it's like, yep, guy had a ton of success, made tons and tons of money. However, he also made some enemies along the way, some tactical
Yeah.
errors here and there. I bet. Yeah, man, that's a great question, Jake. William X is up next. Did Jake ever comment on the passing of Killer Khan? What were his best memories? No, I guess we never did talk about Killer
No,
Khan,
we
did we?
didn't. I didn't know he passed.
He did. This was like, oh gosh, maybe a month or so ago.
Wow. God, I remember working with him, man, and that scream that he would do. Oh, scares you half to death. Blood curdling scream. Ah! Jesus fucking Christ, man. what a pleasure to work with. I mean, he was a real ring savvy guy, man. He knew what to do out there, bro. He really did. And I hate to hear that he's passed, man. Gosh.
Yeah, it's completely on me. Definitely should have asked you about this whenever I heard about it. Just slipped my mind whenever we'd
Yeah.
record. But yeah, it's man, what a legend the guy was, and a hell of a heel, wasn't he?
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, man. I loved working with him.
Big time character. Would you say like what were your thoughts when it came to his ring style?
He was beautiful. He was your ultimate heel, man.
Mm-hmm.
He could go out there and get it done, no doubt.
Man, rest in peace to Killer Khan. What a legend. Certainly deserving of a spot in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
Josh asks, "What did Jake think of Kevin Dunn retiring?" Jake, how much influence do you think a guy like Kevin had on the product for all those years with WWE?
Well, he had a lot of influence on it, man. I mean, without him, you don't get on there, because he's slicing and dicing. And yeah, he had a lot to do with it, man. The overall product. He did a great job too.
Responsible for how we all got to view wrestling for many years,
Yeah,
the way it looked and how it was produced,
yeah.
stuff like that, and certainly a power player for many years behind the
Oh
scenes of
God, yeah,
WWE.
yeah.
Um, Now, I've heard a lot of mixed things about Kevin over the years as far as what kind of a person he was. So Jake, I'll ask you, like in your experiences with Kevin, what do you think of him as a dude?
I got along fine with him.
Yeah.
I never had an issue. Never had an issue.
It's funny because you hear these stories from people in wrestling, and it's like, okay, is that just because maybe they didn't get what they wanted when they were
Yeah,
around this guy that they have that negative thing to say, or is there something more to it? It's kind of hard to
yeah.
tell.
It's kind of hard to pitch.
Yep. Nathan Pearson is up next. Jake, his brother Sam Houston, and his sister Rock and Robin were all in the WWF at the same time for a while. What was it like having your siblings in the company with you?
It was all right. It didn't. Hell, my father was there too, so
Oh yeah.
it didn't matter to me. I still
Did
went
you
out
like
and did my thing. They went and did their thing.
did you like travel with them or anything like that?
Not much.
No.
No, maybe
Are
a
are
handful of times.
are you like close with your siblings or just kind of different
No,
paths?
different paths.
Happens to a lot of siblings,
Yep, especially in this business.
for sure. All right, Darian A asks, "Did you ever mess with another wrestler's gear?" So kind of flipping it back on you. I'm sure you never stole anything, but Jake, did you ever just fuck with somebody's stuff?
Oh yeah, put icy hot in their underwear. You know, put icy hot on their clothing underneath their arms.
Ooh.
Because as soon as it starts to sweat, it's gonna go up in flames.
Now, is there anybody in particular you would target with this kind of thing?
I can't say. I got to protect the innocent.
Yeah, there you go. Would you stick around when you do something like that to see
Fuck
the
yeah, you got to
reaction?
see it.
Yeah, right. I'm sure they started selling it not too long either.
It doesn't take long, bro.
Oh gosh, especially the underwear. Oh boy.
Especially the underwear, man.
Did you have any other little trips or tricks you like to use on folks?
Oh gosh, maybe on an airplane dropping stink bombs.
Stink bombs.
Yeah, in first class as you walk through there.
So you'd be on your way back to coach in this instance. You
Yeah,
drop a you drop a stink bomb.
yeah. I say, hey Ted, how you feeling, man? Is your stomach any better? Drop one.
Oh, that's great shit. Kurt Regina, I don't know, asks, "It sounds like you've had a lot of tag team partners. Well, that's for damn sure, as we've been discussing Mid
Yeah,
Atlantic. If you can pick just one as your favorite, who and why?"
steam up.
Steamboat.
Yeah,
That's a good answer. I thought for sure you were going to say Undertaker, though, because, man, you guys were pretty fun in the short time you were together.
Yeah, yeah, but it'd have to be Steamboat. He knows how to sell.
Yes, he does. I put a related question here next from Alan Furzer, who asks, "How did you end up teaming with Dory Funk Jr. in 1983, and what was it like?"
It was pure fucking hell.
Really?
Oh my god!
Why?
Because he had one speed, which was slow, and the other thing was once he got in there, he was going to do everything that he could think of before he tagged me back out. So I would start the match, do like 2 minutes, tag him in. 20 minutes later,
Oh my god.
I'd get the tag. By then, the match is already in the shitter. It's been there for a long time.
Already in the shitter, as in like, yeah, I know that you said he had that slow, plodding, methodical kind of
Oh
style.
yeah,
Did you feel like he was not a very entertaining wrestler overall?
yeah. It's very boring. In fact,
Um,
he used to say that. He says, "God damn it, I want to wrestle that guy they keep chanting for. If they just send him to the ring, I'd beat his ass." I'm like, "Who's that?" Says, they keep chanting Bo Ring. Who is Bo Ring?
it took me a sec, but I got it.
Yeah,
Oh man,
Bo Ring.
boring, dude. That's amazing. I've been wondering too, because I've seen those photos, and like I'm trying to keep the timeline of your career in my head. I'm like, okay, so Jake was with Mid Atlantic, then he moved on to Florida, and what? How did you find yourself back working for NWA with Dory?
Just stupid. Just stupid.
So they invited you back, and you said,
Insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results.
"How long did you last this time around with Dory?"
Same, about 4 months, 5 months.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna have to watch some of that footage back one of these days, and we can just
Oh,
trash the whole thing. I won't put you through that. Robert Frank reached out to me in my DMs and asked a great question. He says, "Jake, I've been a fan of yours since I was 13. I'm now 46. The Resurrection is without a doubt the most inspirational documentary I've ever watched and has helped me greatly, not only with controlling my own drinking habits, but also my mental health in general. At this stage in your sobriety, do you ever get cravings for alcohol that you still fight, or have you gone so long that now it doesn't bother you?"
I'm glad to say that it doesn't bother me at all.
That's incredible.
At all, man. I mean, I can go anywhere. I don't care what the event is, and there could be drunks surrounding me. It doesn't bother me at all. Not at all, man. No cravings, no thoughts, no dreams. It's wonderful.
Dude, that is awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Because you hear about folks that like either stop with drugs, alcohol, smoking. I smoked for about 12 years, and then I stopped. And I think I've been done now for about 11 years. But I'll dream about it every once in a while, and I'll
Yeah,
I'll get a weird craving every once in a while. So it's incredible that you're not dealing with that,
not one.
dude. Incredible. Next up, we've got Johnny Gringo, who asks, this is a pretty interesting one. He asks, did Grizzly Smith ever wrestle Buford Pusser? So for those fans who might not know, Buford Pusser was a pro wrestler who became a sheriff in Tennessee back in the day, who waged war on illegal activities along the Tennessee and Mississippi state line, and was such a badass that he inspired songs, books, and the movie Walking Tall, which was a reference made by Bill Watts in Mid-South all the time. So now
Mhm.
with that set up, do you know if your father ever crossed paths with him?
I do not know.
Did
I
you
do
ever
not
cross
know.
paths with him?
No.
Oh man, so the guy's a legend. Were you into like Walking Tall or any of that?
Oh yeah, I've seen all that shit.
Pretty cool shit that this guy was in the business, working in the Mid South area as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Well, it was worth a shot. Next up, we've got the Grim Reaper, who has a question we discussed on the episode about your encounter with Muhammad Ali, but let's do a refresher. What were your thoughts when it came to working with the Snowman in 1985 Mid South?
How long can this bullshit go on? That was my thought.
How long did you end up having a thing with him?
Oh, fuck, about 3 months.
Ugh.
Oh, it was brutal.
Not a good worker overall.
Oh, God. Horrible.
I've heard wrestlers say, I think it was Dutch Mantel actually recently said that he was really stiff in the ring. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
A dude who's like, so he's not being an asshole. He's not like trying to fuck with you. He's just green and he's
Yeah.
stiff. How do you handle that? Like, I mean, is it tell him to
Lean
knock it
on
off?
them. Lean
Is
on
it
them.
blow him up?
Blow them up.
That'll make
Once
anybody
they're
stop.
blown up, they can't do shit.
Nobody can be stiff after that.
Nope.
I wish Blue Chew was one of our sponsors right now. It'd be a perfect spot. Orion Pax says, "Hi Jake, big fan. Do you still watch wrestling today? Jake, do you catch a lot of it in your spare time?"
I catch some. I watch a little AEW.
Now, what about old wrestling? Do you ever go back on YouTube or WWE
Oh,
Network and
no,
watch it?
man. I don't do that. I don't do that. If I want to watch some old stuff, I've got about 300 hours of my shit that I can watch.
Now, what about like, was any of your stuff that you were a fan of before you got into wrestling, or maybe when you were really young in wrestling? Was any
Not
of that
much.
stuff on film?
Not much.
Oh, okay. Very few of it, or
Very,
very little of it's
very
easy to
little.
find.
Yeah, it's hard to find, bro.
I gotcha. 2SS Dream asks, Jake, do you remember breaking a car window in Florida because a kid was locked inside and could not unlock the door? I've never heard about this.
I haven't either.
Oh, okay, so somebody apparently down there in Florida has a story about you breaking a car window that is very inaccurate.
Oh, well, at least I did it for a good reason.
Yeah, if you did it, awesome. That's a great reason.
I didn't, I don't remember that.
Hayden Onstadt asks, hey Jake, what's something a fan wouldn't know or be surprised to know about the wrestling industry? Anything jump out at you?
It's real.
There it is, folks. After all these years, all the debate,
It's real.
the truth is revealed. It's all real.
Oh, man, I don't know. That question there, bro, that opens the door for a lot of bullshit.
There's an awful lot.
I think one of the most amazing things about WWE was doing TV tapings for them back in the old days. And you'd have to wrestle 3 times. And you had to pay for your own hotel, you had to pay for your rental car, and they paid you $50 for the night.
Holy shit.
For the night.
What the fuck, man?
So figure it out, folks. What does that work out to?
Negative, what, 150, 200?
Yeah, exactly. $16 a match. Fuck.
Were you giving that much? I've heard that figure before, and I also heard that
Yeah.
a lot of guys would just give it to the enhancement guy they worked with. Like, just
Yeah,
there you
that's
go,
what I
bud.
did.
Yeah, might as well. What are you gonna do
Yeah.
with an extra 50?
Yeah.
Jake, we'll hit like 3 more and call it a day here.
All right.
Guy Fairborn asks, talk to us about Tony Atlas. Did the boys know he had a foot fetish back in the day?
Yes, we did. Never go to a fucking restaurant with Tony Atlas with you.
Oh no, what
Because
happened?
he's going to embarrass the fucking shit out of you. I've seen him actually lay down on the floor and have women walk on his face with shoes on.
In the restaurant?
Yeah. Yeah. Heels.
Oh my god.
Walk on his face with heels on.
What's the conversation like with Tony after that?
He don't give a fuck. He's happy.
Very interesting, very specific thing that he digs. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, good for him, man. Go live your dream, Tony. Gil Hoffman asks, not sure if this one has been asked or not, but has Jake ever been in a backstage fight? How did it go? If not, what's the closest he came to fighting one of the guys?
Never have, but I did chase one of the bulldogs one time.
Was this after they fucked with the snake?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for those fans who don't know, Jake, I've heard the story. I'll let you tell it. What would the Bulldogs do to fuck with Damien?
Oh, they throw cigarettes in on him, lit.
Ugh,
They'd suplex the bag,
what the
shit like
fuck, man?
that.
That's fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
All right, last one. What's Jake's favorite action figure of himself?
The one they haven't made yet.
Oh, okay.
Need one more.
What kind are you hoping for?
Oh, I want it to be those fire pants, definitely,
Hell yeah.
the flames, yeah.
I'd like to see like a Mid-South Jake.
Oh, that'd
Somebody
be
I know.
awesome.
Yeah, I know that like Power Town Toys are making like the old school action figures of guys, and man, it'd be cool if they could get your likeness on one of those.
I'd like for him to do it.
He's got a couple follow-ups. First, what did Jake think when he first saw his action figure on the shelf at the store? Did he buy a ton of them or get them for his
Fuck
kids?
no. I thought, what a sick world.
So when I mean, it's got to be the most surreal feeling ever. You walk into a Walmart or a convenience store or something,
Yeah.
and there's you on the shelf. Like, man, it's got to be strange.
Oh, I like those giant cigarette lighters they had too, What the
Cigarette
fuck?
lighters.
Is that for a crack pipe or what?
Dude, they were just making it was everything.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know. I think one of the craziest I seen was not crazy, just I couldn't believe they were actually selling was sheets and comforter kits for their beds.
Yes,
And
that's right.
curtains. And curtains.
So-
My God, what kind of twisted kid's that gonna wind up being, He's gonna have bad dreams his whole life.
Got Jake the Snake just staring at him 24/7
Yeah.
ugh. Well, look, actually, as a matter of fact, he says this is his final question. What did Jake think of his squirt head figure? And I got a picture for us. Take a look at
Yeah.
that.
I like the squirt head. Those used to be fun at the airports.
You carried him on you?
Carry it in your hand and just walk through the airport and squeeze it every now and then. Watch people fucking jump and turn around.
But you just keep walking.
Just keep walking.
That's good shit. Yeah, man, it's that squirt head. Like I think they made like a fucking toothbrush of you at one point, and
Oh
like
yeah.
shampoo bottle top stuff. Like, just man, anything that they could monetize, they were doing it.
Anything, man. They did it. They did it.
And I've heard recently that the checks or the percentages were not all that favorable to the
No, they
boys.
weren't, man. They were horrible. They
Man,
were horrible.
probably make your stomach turn to find out how much money was made on that shit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, guys, listen, next week, one way or the other, as we're listening to this, it will be a couple days after my wife, at the very least, will be induced with with our child. So next week, you will not get to see me and Jake. However, we do have a special episode where I brought Larry Zabisco on, and Larry and I are talking about Starrcade 1997 when he faced Eric Bischoff. And boy, it's a fun episode. Larry's a fun personality, and we had a really good time. So we'll look forward to doing that. And Jake, I guess I'll see you down the road, my friend.
What you can do, man, is just go in your bedroom and drop an elbow on her.
Okay, like one of those Greg Valentine.
Yeah,
heavy
absolutely, absolutely. Have your dad come over and catch the baby in a catcher's mitt.
So the trick, folks, is not laying on the stomach. You got to get him up by like the lungs, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Shoot
yeah,
that baby right out of there.
Yeah.
Well, look, I told her, I was like, because she's working right up to the last minute. So I told her, I was like, listen, if that baby comes while you're at work, I need to be the one that takes you. So you know how sometimes if you hold in a poop, it just goes away. So like, just do that with the baby. And she's giving me some bullshit about how that won't work. I don't believe it.
Yeah, right.
All right, guys, we're doing another break so we can talk about one of my favorite sponsors that we have ever had here on the Snake Pit. Of course, you guys know already, I'm talking about Mando. Fall is here. It's crisp air. It's football season. Everything is starting to kind of cool off a little bit out there. However, we know that doesn't mean that you're going to be sweat free. You're still out there working your butt off, whether it's taking care of yard work, whether it's taking care of the house, whether it's out there running around with your kids. Yeah, dude, you're going to be sweaty. Don't let body odor sideline you. Mando deodorant plus sweat control is for real working guys. It's formulated to stop odor before it starts, and it doesn't mask odor with overwhelming fragrance. So you can tackle anything from the job site to tailgating with confidence. Don't mask it, Mando it. So look, you guys know I've been singing the praises of Mando for a very long time. My wife loves them. I love them. My wife is a huge fan every time I put on the new Mando deodorant that I've got, which is in that bourbon leather scent. Sit down next to her on the couch, and all of a sudden she's snuggling up a little bit closer. I smell better for longer, and it's all due to Mando. I'm telling you, these guys are a product that I truly believe in and intend to use for many, many years moving forward. And we've all heard, like the companies, everybody says that they've got the best whatever. And it's no exception in the world of deodorant or male grooming. Well, let me tell you, Mando is the real deal. There is no fluff here. There's no BS. There's no silly marketing stuff going on. Mando's very straightforward. What they tell you is what it is, and the benefits are unbelievable. They offer clinical strength sweat control. Just one swipe, and that's it. You're good to go. This isn't your typical deodorant. It's clinical strength, 2 times better at controlling sweat than the standard. It controls both sweat and odor for up to 72 hours, and after just 12 hours, underarm sweat was reduced by 92%. This stuff seriously works. This isn't just normal deodorant. This is deodorant re-engineered to stop odor before it starts. It doesn't just mask odor, it prevents it. 100% of study participants experience all-day odor protection. Think about that. 100% of people agree that they got all-day odor protection by using Mando. Not to mention, they use premium ingredients. Unlike other deodorants, which are loaded up with chemicals, Mando uses only the best, like gentle mandelic acid, to keep you fresh and dry. And it doesn't just tackle odor, it tackles sweat. Mando's new deodorant plus sweat control stick gives you double the protection you need. No more worrying about sweat stains or those embarrassing pit rings, just all-day freshness and dryness. If you're ready to jump in and give this thing a try, Mando Starter Pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like the mini body wash or deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer to our listeners, new customers get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code. Use code SNAKE at shopmando.com for 20% off site-wide plus free shipping. Again, it's shopmando.com, shopmando.com. Please support our show. Make sure you let them know that we sent you there. And you're going to get 20% off site-wide at shopmando.com plus free shipping. Mando's got you covered. With deodorant plus sweat control, say goodbye to sweat stains and hello to long-lasting freshness. And also hanging with us because, Jake, I'm starting this show out with a question for me. Because I saw a video of you that was unearthed last week, and first thing I thought was, boy, would I like to know the backstory on that. So here we go. It's a look back to March of 1980. Our listening audience, that was just music that was playing, but a very young Jake the Snake Roberts came out there in Japan with an awful lot of face paint on. Jake, what was happening there?
Face paint on. Yeah, man. It was an idea I came up with for me and Mike Boyette. Mike Boyette was a great friend of mine and one of the best bumpers that ever got in the ring. So we painted our faces up a la Kiss, and the Japanese loved it, man.
How long were you walking around with that look?
Just that tour.
Now, after doing it and you're getting a good reaction from the Japanese, was there ever a thought like, boy, maybe I ought to bring this back to America with me?
Fuck no, man. That shit ate my face up.
Did it really?
Yeah, I had the wrong kind of paint.
So, like, what did it do to your face? Make you, like, break out or something?
It just burned it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it was so bad that they finally told me not to wear it except on television.
So they're like, we know you're suffering from this, so don't do it unless you're going to be on TV. Nice. Well, look, some of the reaction that I saw online was like, "Holy shit, that's spooky," or "Oh man, what a cool look." So, man, I don't know, with the right kind of face paint, we could have seen a very different Jake the Snake Roberts here in America.
You could have, man. Certainly could have.
Wow. Okay. So Kiss was the inspiration. And I'm not sure if you got a good look at that dude who was in the ring there with you. He had a big afro. Who was that guy?
Mike Boyette.
Oh, that was Mike Boyette.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And whatever became of Mike Boyette?
He didn't do well, man. He was a great performer in the ring, man, but he was ahead of his time.
Okay, the world just wasn't ready for him yet.
Oh no, they're still not. He's
Now,
gone now. He passed away a few years ago, man. I loved the guy, man. He was just he was out there, but he was out there in a good way.
he had a cool look, and that was another question that I saw online a bunch after that was first posted. Like, who's the dude with the afro? Like, he was something about him stuck out. So, man, it's sad to hear that things didn't turn out for him.
Yeah.
Well, we can move on. We've got somebody named Pro Blaine up next, and they say on the A&E episode about Jake and Savage, people said that Savage got a 104-degree fever from the snake bite. Did Jake hear about that? And did Jake get sick after the cobra bit him?
Fuck no. I ain't got a fucking fever, not Savage.
The snake did.
Yeah, the snake got a fever, man. I had to give him some drugs.
Holy shit. So what the hell was Savage on?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think that on that documentary they said like the snake ended up dying or something after he bit
No, that's
Savage.
bullshit.
Okay, so the snake was okay.
Fuck yeah.
Oh man, so they're just trying to spice things up a little bit there for TV.
Yeah, they're just crunching numbers, man.
Jake, did you ever have any ill effects whenever a snake would bite you?
No.
Nothing bad ever came of it.
Well, other than the stitches,
Okay.
that wasn't much fun. But no.
Because they say like a snake, even once it's been devenomized, there's still trace amounts of it in there, and that's what
Yeah,
can sometimes make people sick. So I mean, the cobra, I know he bit you in that instance with Savage, where Savage essentially forced you to make it bite you.
right.
Did it ever just catch you any other time?
No, I used to play with it in the hotel rooms when I got drunk, and I'd put it on the bed, and there'd be two beds, and I'd stick my arm out there, and when he tried to strike me, I'd move it. And every now and then I'd be doing it, and I'd pick up my beer and forget what I was doing, and some bitch would bite me.
You're working on your reflexes a little bit.
Yeah, man, trying to tune them in, dude.
That's good shit, brother. Next up, we've got Charlie who asks, back when Cena was constantly getting booed because WWE was shoving him down everybody's throats, I always wondered what a wrestler can do in that situation. Are there any tricks to getting people behind you even when they don't want to be?
Just keep being who you are, man. That's all you can do. Me, I would just slow it down enough to piss them off even more.
Okay.
Then after I pissed them off good, they'd be begging me to do something. Then I'd them.
See, that's why I included this question, because I was like, I guarantee Jake has got some kind of a trick up his sleeve to get people back on his side.
You just stop doing everything. Fuck you. Just stand there. Finally, they'll say, "God damn, do something." Then they'll start to clap. Once you get them clapping, you got them, bro.
So you're not even talking about a rest hold. You're saying literally just stand there.
Literally stand there in a corner and fucking do nothing. After about a minute or two, they'll start clapping and begging you to do something.
That's why he's the master of psychology, folks. Think about that, because it does make sense on paper. But who would think, like, because you've got an opponent, you've got a match laid out. So I think that most wrestlers would be out there and just be like, well, shit, I got to do this match. No matter how the audience is reacting. But nope, you're saying you can manipulate them.
Damn straight, man. They're going to go which way I want them to.
Some next level shit there. Jake, did you ever end up having to do that with anybody? You were always over all the time, so did you end up having to do that?
I've done that with some fans.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, in the early years, especially when I was still learning.
Mm. How does your opponent react when you do something
Oh,
like that?
they get flustered and they get anxious, but I just don't let them do anything with me, man. If they come over and attack me, I just hug the ropes.
That is some fascinating shit. Now, like, does it? I find this whole thing really interesting. Once you get backstage, does like your opponent in the match say like, "Hey, bro, like, what the fuck? I'm trying to work with you out there."
Well, I'm gonna tell them, dude, what happened after I did it? Did we or not? Yes, we got him. So shut the fuck up and leave me alone.
That's why you want to listen to this podcast, folks. You are not going to hear that anywhere else. That's great shit, Jake.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Cam Heath, who asks, "Was Jake ever offered a spot as an agent? Would he do it if he was?"
I was offered a spot as an agent, and I did it for a while, man, with Vince.
Okay.
I was writing television for him, um, partly responsible for the Steve Austin era, and certainly helped a lot of other people along their way, including Shawn Michaels.
So now, and that's notable because that's the year that Shawn Michaels was WWF champion, and you were helping to create some creative for him.
Right.
So you were on the creative team, but then you were also helping to agent stuff, which from a novice perspective is like you're helping to lay out matches for guys, right?
Matches for guys and trying to help them with their characters.
Okay. I got you. So it's essentially like you're not telling guys beat by beat, here's what you guys need to do in this match. It's more of like a producer role, right?
Right.
Okay, I got you. Now, did you have to watch anybody urinate like Nick Bockwinkel had to?
No, I didn't get no pecker watching.
son of a bitch. All right, next up we've got Jamie, just Jamie, who asks, "We hear people talk about Barry Windham being a really special talent all the time. What made Barry so special in Jake's opinion?"
He was just a great talent, man. He was tall, long, and lanky for a long time. Back when I wrestled him, he was thin, but he can get out there and go, man. All this stuff is solid. He's exciting, very exciting.
Well, it'll be interesting to hear your perspective on this. He follows that question up with, if he is such a great in-ring performer and so well respected among everybody, why didn't he become a bigger star than he was?
He never got the break, man.
Okay.
Plain and simple. He just seemed to be in the wrong place at the wrong time a lot of the time. And then he finally got with the Horsemen and finally found his niche.
Yeah, it's I think it's a little bit misleading to say he wasn't a big star. He was a big star, but
Yeah.
he never rose to that like main event level. And yeah, it's a interesting question because seriously, anybody you talk to says like, oh, he was incredible, one of the best in ring performers ever, strong. Would you say he was missing anything? Was it like the promo?
Nope, he missed nothing. His promos were great, but he didn't miss anything.
Just missed the opportunity, is what it is.
Yep.
Outback Pepper Jack asks, who was Jake's favorite referee and who was the worst?
Earl Hebner was probably my favorite. Fonzie was one of my favorites. Yeah.
Now, who did you dislike having assigned to your match?
Oh, there was a guy back in the day at Mid-Atlantic. I can't remember his name now. Tommy Young.
Tommy Young.
Yes, I hated that guy.
Wow. Okay, that's notable. That's notable because I hear people all the time, like all the JCP guys put him over. A lot of them say he's the greatest referee of all time.
Oh, fuck that.
What was Tommy Young missing in your opinion?
Balls.
So, just on the outside looking in, it sounds like maybe you may have had a personal issue with Tommy Young at some point?
Not really.
No?
I like the guy.
You just didn't care for him as a dude.
Yeah, nothing personal. I mean, what he does off stage and in his bedroom's his business. You know, I don't give a fuck. But I just didn't like the guy for some reason.
Hey, fair enough. Not everybody's gonna like everybody in this business.
Well,
Xavier is up next. Did Jake spend much time around Bobby Eaton or Dennis Condrey? What did he think of them?
they were great. Are you kidding? Midnight Express, brother. Shit, man, those guys could rock and roll, bro. They could go, man. Ask anybody who's ever watched them, brother. Bobby Eaton was one of the greatest ever to get in the ring.
Man, that Alabama jam he would do off the top rope, that leg drop, just picture perfect every single time.
Every fucking time, man.
And it would look like he killed the guy, but he's like not even touching him.
Nope.
What a great performer. It's weird to think about, Jake, because I try to, I know your career and your career timeline pretty well, and I'm like, when the hell would Jake have been around Bobby Eaton? And I can't think of it.
Oh yeah, Mid-South.
Oh, okay. They came through Mid-South at the same time.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what about outside the ring? What'd you think of Bobby and Dennis?
Loved them. Bobby Eaton was so fucking funny, man. He was easy to gross out, you know. I used to cough up an oyster and spit it up there and try to catch it. And it used to like make him puke. He would puke, man.
Oh my God. Did you ever hear about the burp and blow story with him and Arn Anderson?
No.
They used to play a game in the car called Burp and Blow, where one would burp and blow it at the other one. And I guess Arn got him good one time, and Bobby started throwing up, and Arn's going 60 down the highway, and Arn starts throwing up, so they have to pull over.
That
Just,
sounds about right.
man, only in pro wrestling, right?
Yeah, man. Burp and blow. I got to try that sometime.
Yeah,
I
just
thought, I thought you were going to do a whole different thing than what I was thinking.
burp and blow is a different kind of game to some
Yeah.
folks, I'm sure.
I was quite shocked to hear Arn doing it.
Well, look, if you're gonna play burp and blow, just make sure I'm not in the car with you, pal. Weak
Got that
stomach.
right.
Tom Kennard has an interesting one relating to the Montreal Screwjob. How would Jake have handled getting the belt off of Bret Hart instead of the Screwjob taking place? Seeing as I see it discussed a lot on the wrestling podcast circuit, Jake's a good booker, and I'm keen to see what he would have done to fix the problem.
I would have told Sean to take the fucking belt.
Like shoot on him?
Fucking right. Hook him. All you got to do is hook him for 3 seconds.
So interestingly, I'm not sure if you ever heard this. Gerald Briscoe knew that this was going to happen, the Montreal screw job. So he got with Shawn Michaels ahead of time because Brett is a quote unquote shooter. He knows how to like stretch a guy. And so he got with Shawn, showed him a couple moves in case Brett decided he wanted to attack him following the screw job. So I don't know if I'm super confident that Shawn would be able to hook Bret Hart.
No, I'm not too confident either.
I don't know. There's got to be some good way to get the belt off him without having to go through all that fucking drama.
That was a situation where one guy was scared and the other one was glad.
One was scared, the other was glad.
Yeah.
And now, can you explain that a little bit for our audience?
In other words, one of them was bluffing and the other one was scared, and the one that was bluffing was glad.
I think I'm with you now. All
Okay.
right. Interpret that how you want, folks.
Right. Play with it.
There you go. Shit disturber of ad-free shows. Yambag Jones is up next. What's the one element of the business that was better in the territory days as compared to right now?
The matches.
Okay.
The matches were much better in the territory days.
What do you think set them apart?
Well, you couldn't do the same thing every night. You know, you had to change your shit up all the time because you're going to the same towns every week. So you're constantly getting better.
I think you and I discussed before too the almost like the territories acted as like a training for when you get to the big shows like JCP or WWF at the time, where it's like guys are out there honing their skill, which is exactly what you did for years before you were put on TV.
Exactly.
Uncle Chad is up next, and he asked a couple questions we've already answered about your favorite and best matches, but he follows it up with an interesting one. What match slash opponent, if ever, were you the most concerned about working with, and why? Was there ever anybody that you were like, oh boy, I don't want to work with this guy?
Vader.
Okay, so we have heard that one before because he was just rough and didn't control himself, right?
Twice.
Dude, no place for that bullshit in wrestling.
Absolutely none.
And they always say you're supposed to make sure that you're protecting the other guy out there with you, and so he walks away the same way.
Exactly.
The Grim Reaper is up next. Out of your many contemporaries from the 80s, who are some wrestlers that you few don't? Let me try that again because I don't know
Yeah.
what the fuck he's saying. That you feel don't get as much recognition as they should for what they did in the business.
Oh, man, that's a very long list.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very long list. You know, the bad thing about this business not being a shoot is there's a lot of guys with a lot of great fucking talent that never get the opportunity simply because they don't get picked.
Mm.
You know, was the Ultimate Warrior a great wrestling champion? Fuck no. You know, I mean, he took somebody's spot, man.
And if it was a shoot, there's no way he would have ever been in that position.
You got that right. There'd probably only be 3 Samoans in the business. That's it.
Yeah, I think Haku would probably still be champion.
Yeah.
All right, next up we've got Yeshua, who asks, everyone asks for a top 5 all time in the ring, but who's the top 5 minds in wrestling, whether for in-ring psychology, booking, etc.? 5 is a lot. How about just 3 of them?
Well, I'll give it up. I'll give it up to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Graham.
Okay.
Bill Watts.
Wow, that is not something I was expecting. Bill Watts.
I hate to say it.
But he had some pretty good creative.
He was fairly good.
Okay. Now, Eddie Graham is not a guy that you and I have talked about a lot on here. I would imagine during your time working with Kevin Sullivan in Florida is when you got to know Eddie.
Yeah.
And what was it about Eddie that you felt kind of set him apart?
He could lay out a finish that would be 15 minutes long.
Damn.
I mean, but it was absolutely fucking perfect. You know?
Wow.
And Eddie would lay out a finish, but he wouldn't watch the match.
Really?
He would listen to the match. And he could tell you what was going on by the sounds they were making.
Holy shit.
That's how good he was.
That's like some wrestling prodigy shit.
Oh, brother, he was Yoda.
Now, your relationship with him, I know you weren't in the Florida territory for super long. Were you like close with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now what about his kids? Close with them?
Not too close with Michael, but fairly good friends.
Okay. It's just, again, almost like the Von Erichs, kind of like tragic family history there, but for a family with such a great lineage. Now, Bill Watts, we're never going to put him over on this podcast, at least not very often, but
yeah,
that no good cocksucking motherfucker Bill Watts. However, in this instance, let's maybe put him over for a second. What was it about Bill and his booking that you felt was like, okay, well, maybe you don't like the guy, but he is smart?
Well, he came from the Eddie Graham tree.
Okay.
And he had finishes that were long and involved, and they made certain things happen.
So he is like an extension of Eddie Graham. All the
Yeah,
things that you'd see from Bill Watts, pretty much straight from Eddie.
yeah.
All right, next up we've got Durag Vince, who asks if there was a Mount. Boy, there's a lot of these best kind of questions this week. He asks your Mount Rushmore of talkers. Who are the best on the mic? So Jake, you're on that Mount Rushmore. So
Yeah,
let's do three.
Dusty, myself. Um, throw a little flair in there.
Gotta be.
Yeah, that's the top three right there.
So you said yourself, Dusty, Piper, and Flair.
Piper and Flair. 4.
There it is. Our old pal Peter D is up next. Hi, Jake. Can you share any bad experiences you've had with dodgy indie promoters over the years? Have you ever been screwed out of your money?
Absolutely.
I would guess many numerous times.
4 times total.
Wow. Okay. Not as bad as I thought.
No, 3 times in wrestling and 1 time in a Comic-Con.
No shit.
Yeah.
So I won't ask you to name any names, but when that happens, I mean, because there's it's handshake agreements in most of these instances. Like, is there any recourse?
Yeah, you fucking go after them, man. You fucking sue the shit out of them.
Okay. So even though a lot of these, it's nobody signing a contract, you can still get a lawyer on board.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is they. I had one instance where they wrote me a bad check,
Okay.
and all I had to do was turn that over to the police. Man, they took care of it.
Now you never ended up getting your money, I'd assume, but that guy did get brought to justice, so to
Yeah,
speak.
he went to jail.
Good. Good. There's no
Yeah.
room for that bullshit.
I can tell you who the name was too.
Go ahead, lay it on us.
Motherfucker.
Motherfucker. We've
Yeah.
all met that guy.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we got Prince Jones Official, who asks, what do you think about a lot of vets calling the current product soft? Do you agree? If so,
Yeah.
what changes would you make?
Yes, I agree. I'd tell them to slow the fuck down and start selling shit again.
Okay.
Start making it believable.
Now, Jake, when you see like now there's a lot of really spectacular things that happen in wrestling today, particularly in AEW. You guys have got some incredible athletes there. And we see a lot of like diving outside of the ring, tope suicidas as they call them out. When you think about wrestling and how it's evolved, Jake, do you feel that tope suicidas and this over the top rope shit, is there a place for it if done properly?
Yeah, I think so. I think you make it a finish.
Ah.
Make it a fucking finish. Wrestle, wrestle, wrestle. Get your heat, then do your suicida.
The idea being that because you can't pin somebody on the outside, you knock them down on the outside, throw them back in, pinfall.
Or count them out.
Okay. Now that could be an angle in and of itself too. You beat enough guys by count out, they'll start saying like, well, we got to put up a cage around this because this guy keeps winning by count out.
Absolutely.
Simple psychology, boys and
Yep.
girls. Next up, we've got Stay True Wrestling, who asks if you could redo one of your feuds from the past, which one would it be, and what would you have done differently?
The Warrior thing.
What would you do differently, knowing what you know now?
I would have just played it out. We didn't get a chance to play it out.
Ah, okay. Well, now what about that was out of your control. What about anything that was within your control that it's like, fuck, I should have done this instead?
Wow. The Savage thing,
Mm.
it should have went to WrestleMania.
Do you feel that if you had not slapped Liz, that it would have gone to WrestleMania?
I think slapping Liz probably hurt it for longevity. Yeah, I think if I hadn't slapped her, maybe it would have went to WrestleMania. Maybe if I'd slapped her the week before.
Boy, that would be something. And man, it's hard to say like, well, I regret that because you look back on that moment when you slap Liz, and brother, that is a pretty iconic moment.
Yeah, it was.
And that promo you gave afterwards, we watched it on episode 1. Holy shit, go back and listen to that, folks.
Yeah, that's pretty hot.
All right, guys, we will do a few more, and then we're going to wrap this one up. Pink Gold is up next, and they ask, what is the most painful submission hold you have ever been in?
I can't remember the name of the hold, but I remember the guy put me in the hold, and he was fucking hurting me. And
Who
I
was the
looked
guy?
up, Stu Hart.
Yeah.
And I look up, and there's a set of balls. So I just fucking bit him. Fuck, man. I exploded out of that fucking hold. And Stu Hart said, "What the fuck did you do?" I said, "I bit my own fucking balls."
Boy, he must have had you in a real pretzel.
Oh, it was a bitch.
My goodness.
It's amazing how strong you get if you bite your own nuts.
All of a sudden, you just hulk up.
Oh, God, do you ever?
Now, that begs the question, Jake. How'd your balls fall out of your pants?
Stu Hart's amazing.
that is something else.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that was not what I was expecting. Let's go to we'll do two more. We've got Warhorse Blades who asks, I've been a wrestling fan my whole life. I get it that there must be some cheese, but what was the cheesiest thing you ever had to do on camera, and what was so cheesy that you had to refuse?
Oh, God.
If I can put one out there for cheesiest thing you had to do on camera, probably that time you played the fucking trumpet at the Slammies.
Yes. 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 Thank you. I needed that.
Boy, that was something else.
Yeah, because I haven't done many cheese jobs, man.
No. Which is what makes it all the more weird that Vince would ask you to do that. Here's this very serious character that he's had, and it's like this guy who's your entire reputation is built on. He's not like anybody else. He's
Right.
very cerebral. He's this guy, and then you're playing a fucking trumpet. It's like, oh, come on.
I as well have been blowing myself.
It may have actually gotten over more.
Probably would have.
Did you ever refuse to do some cheesy shit that you were asked to do?
No.
You're a pro's pro. I can't picture you saying no.
What happens is it might have been cheesy, but by the time I got through with it, it looked right.
Which, by the way, is a thing in wrestling that, from what I've heard, you look at somebody like Akeem, the African Dream. He got handed that very cheesy role, but he fucking owned it, and that's the trick, right?
Absolutely, man. Believe it yourself.
Jake, They Hate Jinx asks, have you ever thought of passing the snake gimmick to Lance Archer? Jake, let me preface this with something. Recently, I was producing an episode of Jeff Jarrett's podcast, and he was asked a question kind of like this that I'd love your opinion on. With WWE owning the intellectual property of the names like The Undertaker, Mankind, etc., do you feel like there's a spot down the road for somebody to reprise that role of The Undertaker, like they do in Mexico when one of their mass performers goes down?
Yeah, I think so.
You think somebody could actually pull it off?
Down the road, man, we're talking 40, 50 years.
Okay, I got you.
Same as Jake the Snake. We're not doing anything new. We're just doing it again and doing it a different way. This shit's been going on for thousands of years, man.
Man, that's a really good point. There's probably seriously nothing new in pro wrestling anymore.
Nothing new. Vikings were doing it. The Nords were doing it. The Romans were doing it. Fuck, man. Thank God we haven't went back to the Roman days where you're putting lions and shit in the fucking arena. But it's
boy,
it'll happen.
What a finish that would be, though.
Yeah, no shit.
This is high stakes. Now, do you think a snake gimmick with Lance Archer would get over, or just like, nope, not yet?
It wouldn't get over because they wouldn't allow him to do it right.
Oh, I gotcha.
You know, I mean, they won't even let me do it.
Not they being AEW, but they being the people who oversee television and what.
Right.